Good morning. My name's Pastor Jeff Gross. I'm glad to be here with you. And I want to start out with a confession. It's a great way to start. Full disclosure. I'm a great big Disney fan, as are my family, and I'm just as obnoxious as anybody else who is absolutely in love with the Disney products. And I guess you could call it a guilty pleasure of sorts, if you will. But I remember when Disney was producing classic movies back in the early 90s, and it seems strange to talk about the early 90s as if it's a bygone era, and it kind of is. And they would produce The Little Mermaid, and they would produce Beauty and the Beast, and they would produce Aladdin. And as they were talking about the movies, they would flash on the screen this paradox. Come see the movie. It's an instant classic. Instant classic. Now, a classic by its very definition cannot be instant. It's a ridiculous expectation to think that something like that could even occur. It would be the equivalent of teaching your daughter how to ride a bike and then the next day sending her to France for the Tour de France. Obviously, there's got to be years and years and years of discipline between those two things in order for an accomplishment like that to occur. And yet, we have these ridiculous expectations sometimes. And I think it's very interesting because Disney fans are a strange breed of people, because we like the tradition. We love the tradition that defines the product that we love. But we're also infatuated with innovation, which also defines the product to which we're in love. And I think Disney fans are kind of like Lutherans. Lutherans have one foot in the past and one foot in the future. And we straddle these two seemingly opposing things because they are opposing, and we expect the instant classic. And if you go too far in one direction, say for instance you get too innovative, you may find somebody saying those 7 last words of the church that are immortalized. We've never done that way before. We've never done it that way before. But if you go to the other side and embrace the tradition without any flexibility whatsoever, you will hear people say, well, my kids go to a great big huge mega monster church where it's a huge concert and they are all having fun and dancing and singing. Why can't we be like that? Now, this is not a strange concept, but sometimes the people that say that are the same person. The same person, expecting us to be able to pull both of these things out simultaneously. And I'm only telling you this, that this is possible probably on a silver screen, or maybe in an amusement park with sandblasted plaster buildings. But in the world in which we live, this paradox is an impossibility. One of the best words of advice that was given to me when I was an intern pastor learning how to do this was by my supervisor on internship. He said, figure out who you are and be it. Figure out who you are and be it. Be true to yourself. Be true to your mission. Be true to who you are. But be consistent and be persistent. And I believe that if we're willing to embrace this, as opposed to the paradoxes that are ridiculously unattainable, we will be able to move things forward.